So hi everybody and welcome back to Unreal Engine 5 full game tutorial series for absolute beginners. This is video 42 and we continue in this video with our artificial intelligence. We stopped here with the 1, now we go to 2, which is blackboard setup, and let's create this blackboard in our game. So you can see in our game we go to our folder, then in new folder, AI folder, right click and go to artificial intelligence, and here you select a blackboard and then you call it, I call it BB for blackboard underscore, in my case just 2. Then you open this one up and you can see here we have in this blackboard 2 sides. The left side there you put your keys. Keys are just variable names, they are just calling them keys, and on the right side the variables have their the values and this kind of stuff which you can set up. So in here you can already see a self vector. A self vector is when you assign this blackboard to an AI, then it is referring to itself. We don't need this, but you can keep this. And we click here on the keys section, then you go here to the options section. And because at start we need an object, we can change this object base class to an actor, because at start I want that this AI is chasing my player. That's why I select here at start this object here, and I call this one enemy 2 in my case because I already got one. And then here you go to the right side and you can see here on the right side key type is object, and you can see they call this not variable type, it is key. So this is just how they use it in this blackboard. And when you drop down this key type, there is this base class, and you can see now we can change this. And like I said, I want that this enemy 2 it's my player character, and my player character is an actor. That's why I changed this base class here to an actor. So, and here this one, and this is all what we do here. Important note here, this actor here is not has not a reference to our character. It is just created a variable which we have to assign our character in, and this assignment can make problems in different kind of scenarios, which I will relate later. But for our purpose this is enough. And of course they are doing a little bit more here when you read, because they are creating here something like a vector, a boolean, because they want make a chase player system, which means this the character, the enemy character is patrolling around and this kind of stuff. I skip this, we go on a little bit. So if you have this, but feel free to do this one and try it on your own, it's not too difficult. So we have our blackboard. Let's go one step further and we will go to the next step, which is our behavior tree. The behavior tree is a little bit bigger and more to explain, but let's start it. So first of all, what is a behavior tree? We go to our folder again, right click again, go to artificial intelligence, and you can see here was the blackboard, here is the behavior tree. We select that and let's call it behavior tree, BT for behavior tree underscore, name it what you like. I call it Q again. And important here is when you open this one up, you see first, oh, it has something like a node. It is based on a node system, but careful, not like blueprint nodes, which we already know. It has its own node system, which we will talk in a moment. But before we talk this, keep in mind this behavior tree is selecting automatically a blackboard, because they need to be connected, and you can see this here on top. But important is, if you have more blackboards, then you have to select this on your own, the right one. You can see I have 2 and I have just made this BB2, so then I have to select this manually, the right one which you want to use. So keep this in mind. This is selecting at start any blackboard. The first one, it was BB1 here, but right now I created the second one, so select the one which you want to use. So this is this side node, and when you select your blackboard, then all the variables or the key names in blackboard which we created before, we can see here on the key section here, blackboard, and here are the keys. So when I go, for example, to the other one, this has exactly the same keys actually. Okay, there was nothing, but anyway, you would see here other keys if you have different keys in the other blackboard. That's that. Now we have to talk a little bit about this node system, but instead of talking about the node system, I want that you read this node system, because you can go here to the blackboard. They are explaining all what this is, the selector, sequence, and this kind of stuff. So I'm not going to explain this one because that would take a little bit more time. You can just read it and understand it on your own better. Important note is, but some basics. Here we have a root. Actually, this is not a root in the sense of you are starting here your blackboard behavior tree. It is more like a start point. The difference about root and start point is, start point is just where the program, the artificial intelligence system starts. And then after this one, you can drag out, when you click here, drag out and select one of this one. We will just use the selector and sequence. The difference is selector will stop when it finds a successful node, and the sequence will stop when it finds a fail node. Try to understand this difference by reading this one here, this section and this section, because this can be a confusing at start a little bit what this means. And important is, first we go here, drag out, and when you drag out and stop, we have here this options. Careful, this we have later a little bit more options. There's also the simple parallel, which we are not using right now. So let's select first the selector. Selector again means I will stop when I find a successful other node here from the selector. So when the selector finds here anything later, it will just stop, execute, and go back to the selector. And we call this selector here, we select it, go to the details panel, and call this one AI root. This is our real root, because when it goes, like I said, it will try to find something here. Let's select this one, drag out, and you can see now we have here different options, and these are the other two options. So this composites the thing which we already know. There is a selector and a sequence, and this task here, what you see here, is that what you can create actually on your own, but they have already created some task for you. But this kind of stuff you can create. So important here, we start here with a sequence this time, and like I said before, the selector will try to go here. If this succeeds, then it stops here and goes back to the selector. This is the behavior of the selector. The sequence, on the other hand, what I have here, let's make here also some examples just to understand it a little bit. I will not dive too much in. The sequence on the hand will not do this, what I explained to you right now. So again, the selector tries to find this one. If the selector says, okay, I succeeded, the sequence here is okay, then I go back, and let's make here an example, one more thing too, just for fun. It goes back and it is not executing this one here when it's find this one. On the other hand, the sequence, it goes here, it says, I executed this one, is okay, then I go to this one here, the next. So it is not going back here actually, it is going just to this one here. This is the thing what you have to understand. If you understand this one, then you have understand the blackboard, the main nodes, because the blackboard has these two main nodes and one more, this parallel, but this is a little bit more for advanced stuff, but we are not doing this. So, and in our case, it's even more simple, because I make it just more simple by saying, I don't need that at all. I just make an AI root. I skip here the sequence and I just say move to the player. So I skip a lot of things, and you can see on their example, they are not skipping. They are doing a lot of things here. For example, they make here a begin play, then sequence, petrol, and all this kind of stuff here. So, and we will make this more or less too, this first step here, more or less. Chase player, wait, and so on. Yeah, we make this too. So, first of all, how we make this? We start here. So we have here our AR root. This is a selector. We go here to the left side, and I want just one node. It is this time a task, and this task is a built-in task. It is a move to. And again, this task here, you can make your own. You don't have to use them. But I just use this one because they are using two. And this move to, perhaps you know it, this node, it is just trying that this AI, which I created here, will try to move to my location where I stand. From here to here. That is this move to. You then you select this move to, you go to the right side to the details panel, and here we have to set up a little bit things. The first thing which we have to set up is here is a blackboard key. We select this, and this blackboard key says to what we want move to, and I say I want move to my enemy too. And again, like I said before, we have not initialize this value enemy 2. We have to initialize this later in the AI controller, but don't worry, I will explain this later too. So, and that's actually it what we have to do in this case. Actually, you can do here a little bit more in the details panel, for example, acceptable radius, this kind of stuff, how close you go to the AI. For example, you don't want go into the AI, you can set this a lot higher, 50, 100, and then it stops a little bit in front of the place. And yeah, you can do a lot of things like this. Let's keep this just so like it was, and here are other things, but this kind of stuff you should read. So this is just that what I wanted, move to, and that's it actually. Then we can actually compile and see how does this work. Let me check here something fast, which is how I did it is on the other one, so that's not too different. Move to, yeah, okay, I have added, this one comes later, this chase player and wait. So that's actually it. That's actually what we are doing for this one. And we can add here one more task if we want, which is wait. This wait task here, and this is just so as give a short time for wait time. So in this top here we select wait again, go to details and set this perhaps to 1 second, and this 1 second is just a little time that this one can set this up. Perhaps it has not set up the values or something like this. That's why you wait a short of 1 second, for example, then it goes back to this one, and then it tries to move again, and then it goes to this one. All right, with that said, I stop this value, and here one more note. This one of course will not work because we have still to initialize the values, and that we will do in our next video, which is the AI controller. So if you have any questions so far, like all time, write in the comment section, and don't forget, just follow their example. Perhaps it's a little bit more complicated, and read how this sequence and selector work. So see you in the next video. Good luck, don't give up, and have fun. Bye.